All right, welcome back to the second, not the third episode of Benchwarmers Radio. Like last week, we were presented by We the People Sports. You can check them out at WTBsports.com. Follow them on Twitter, on Instagram at WTB Sports. I'm hosting again. I'm Tyler. Follow me on Twitter at Ty_Miller35. And my co-host Dante, what's up?
What's up, man? Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Dante on Deck for all Celtics news. And basketball's back, man. So it's a great time right now for basketball fans, and I'm super excited to get into this.
Yeah, for sure. While we're plugging, because basketball's back, check out our show's Twitter at Benchwarmers Radio or Benchwarmers Radio. But we're gonna post daily content every single day because basketball is in fact back, and I'm very excited.
It is our lives, man. This is what we live for. Basketball. I mean, honestly, like we're Celtics fans, but I can watch any game and be entertained. Yeah, and sure. I'm just so happy to have all that back because the world's a better place when the NBA is back.
Yeah, I mean, like we were talking in like the WTP chat the other day, and basketball gets like zero respect. I mean, I got fired up because like I just know that people like have their mind already made up whether or not they're gonna like the NBA, and like people barely give it a chance. They're like, "Oh, it's so predictable." Blah blah blah. I'm like, it's really not. Like, minus the Warriors this past like 3 years, like the NBA has been a toss up. Yeah, I guess the same teams are always in it, but you see these young guys like grow and stuff. It's just so much more than like who's gonna win the championship or whatever. The side storylines you can literally see like beefs get settled like on and off the court because people have no filter in the NBA. Like the social media is the best. I don't know. I personally, I think the NBA is the best league out of all the four. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but what are you going to do?
I mean, like you said, like with storylines and stuff, like the NBA, there's just so much going on. Like, yeah, like you have the same team that's competing every year and they're winning and taking over the league. But like, there's just so much to follow. Like, people going to different teams, like beefs, like Jimmy Butler and all that stuff. Like there's just always so much to talk about. And it's like even when it's not on TV, like it's just year round, constantly there's something going on.
Yeah, well, it ends in June. Free agency opens in July or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, July 1st. And then from July 1st to like July 14th, it's like all in your face NBA. Then you get a little break between like middle of July until basketball season. So it's only like 2 months off, really.
Yeah, but there's just always something, always drama.
Yeah, something will come up
like
before the year.
If you compare it to football or baseball, like yeah, you'll have some of your storylines with those sports. But I think with the NBA, it's just so much higher above that. And obviously we're basketball fans, so we'll stick by.
Yo, I'm 100% biased in this, but like,
yeah. But yeah, I understand where other people come from. But I mean, I think it's hard to argue that the NBA isn't growing at a fast rate, and sooner or later, I think with its growing popularity worldwide, like I think it's eventually going to take over as one of the more popular sports, if not the most popular.
Yeah, people are just blind to the fact that they don't want to see like the NBA do well because they don't try or whatever, and it's like 100 points a game. Like, I forgot offense is fun to watch, but whatever. Let's dive into it. Like we said, we're both Celtics fans. They opened up the season against the Philadelphia 76ers, and it was a 18-point blowout where the Celtics did just not play well either. So, like, that's good news for us. But
yeah, I mean, like, it just speaks so much when your best player, Kyrie Irving, shoots 2 for 14, 1 for 8 from 3, finishes with 7 points, and we still beat our quote-unquote rival. I'm saying quote-unquote. Yeah, I don't even know if I consider it a rivalry anymore. Like, even Joel Embiid said it. We beat them by 18 points with a 20-year-old, like, being our best player against, like, 2 borderline superstars in the NBA. Like, if that doesn't speak volumes for how dangerous this team can be, I don't know what does.
Embiid did play nice. I will give him that. He had, 23 and 10, I think?
Yeah, 23 and 10.
Simmons, wow, he had 19, 15, and 8. Not bad.
I mean, like really Joel Embiid.
Now people just get 8, 6, 5.
Yeah, like those two.
Redick got 16.
JJ Redick had 16 off the bench. Yeah, I mean Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are obviously the two big names on that team. Markelle Fultz,
5 points for Fultz.
Yeah, eventually I think I like Markelle Fultz. I think eventually he'll find his role with the team. But Ben Simmons, I mean Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid kind of he had a tough night he had 23 and 10, but the swat by Rozier. Jalen's I'll say
blocked him 100 times.
Yeah, Horford owned him. He had 5 blocks, Horford. And then Jaylen Brown with his quote unquote dunk.
Yeah, that wasn't.
I mean, it was kind of like Joel Embiid blocked it in a way, but still kind of threw it in there. Like it was lucky.
It was like Blake Griffin just got blocked.
Yeah, but it's like come on, the field.
No, I am 100% behind it. Like not many people will go up toe to toe.
The fact that he did that, like going at him like that, jumping outside the paint, one dunk on him, like the fact that he even went it, like it was just such a sick play. It got the crowd so hyped.
For sure.
And, yeah, it's Ben Simmons too. Like I said, me and my roommates talk about, like he can easily average a triple double. Like that's just the type of player he is. Like that's just how his play style is. Like I think that just comes naturally to him. And those two guys are dangerous, but it's the supporting cast that really leaves question marks for this team.
After the game, I saw something. It was like Embiid talked to McMullen, and obviously, like this isn't an excuse to how we played, but it kind of makes more sense. I'm not sure if you saw, but like he came from Cameroon?
Yes,
I think so. I guess like what was it? Tuesday was the 4-year anniversary of like his brother getting murdered in Cameroon or whatever. So I'm like, oh wow. Like I like Embiid. Like not a lot of Celtics fans do because he like talks and stuff. I'm like, this dude could easily back it up. Like he's top 5 player in the league, maybe. Like
yeah, no, I mean like the thing I respect about Embiid too is that whether it's trash talk or him or just
he knows it's all game.
He's honest. Like he said like the Celtics kick our ass. Like it's not a rivalry. Like he tells the truth.
Yeah.
And like you said, and he's a baller. So if he trash talks, like he can back it up.
As in terms of the Celtics, we had Gordon Hayward return. He had a nice 10 points, 5 rebounds, and
4 steals, which was a career high for a career high.
Yeah, he started out the game with 2 in a row. I think he just tried to pass it over him, which I absolutely would try because the game tested his ankle immediately. But the
game was very sloppy to start off. The game
for sure. It was like an AAU game.
Yeah, like YMCA pickup or something like that.
I mean, I expected it because the season gets moved up 2 weeks early. That means training camp's cut by 2 weeks because they still can't start until a certain date. They lose 3 preseason games or whatever. I'm fine with it. I'd much rather have this, but in terms of like we mentioned, Kyrie Irving didn't play well. We still went by 18. Al Horford, this is classic Al Horford night, 9-4-2, 4 blocks, and so much more that won't show up on the stats. Jalen finished with 12. Tatum with the tied for the game high with 23 and 9 rebounds. While Gordon Hayward and I guess Kyrie get warmed up, they're each coming off injury, he's going to have to continue to do this at least at the beginning of the year, and I think he absolutely will. He's just like one of those players that every single game I think he's going to get better this year.
Yeah, I mean, Jason Tatum, I mean, he's getting the comparisons already. I mean, he led the team in shot attempts. I think, at least for right now, he's the clear second option, at least until Gordon Hayward gets situated, gets more comfortable with his role. But even then, Tatum is just so, he has so much potential, and he's already so good that there's just no reason not to make him, one of the biggest focal points of the offense. And he proved it first night that he's able to lead the team. Like Kyrie Irving didn't shoot well. Someone had to take over. Marcus Morris came off the bench, did well. But Tatum was really the guy that was getting everything going. He scored 9 points right away in the first. Huge dunks, going ISO on Embiid. He just had great plays all game long. And I think that's just a preview of what we're going to see all season. I think he's going to have an all-star year. I think he's going to be a definite all-star this year.
Like you just mentioned, Marcus Morris played well off the bench, had 16 and 10. But our bench is so deep that literally I think anybody has a capability of doing what Marcus Morris. If he's cold, then we have Terry Rozier. If he's cold, then we even have Marcus Smart, who was off here and there. Daniel Tice made a 4-minute return.
Aaron Baines shot 2 for 4 from 3.
Yeah. Aaron Baines is a lethal 3-point shooter.
Shooting 50.
Even Wanamaker got some points at the end, but That was when it was a blowout. I'm not even sure how I feel about Wanamaker. I don't really know him, but like,
I mean,
his overseas highlights were pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, how I look at him is like he's gonna fill in that Shane Larkin role. I feel like where he's gonna be the third string, not maybe not even third string, but like he'll come in when the team needs like an energy boost or some guys need a rest. But I mean, he only played a minute, but I've seen some of his highlights. Like he's competed overseas for a long time. He's in his late 20s and he's a rookie, so I mean he has plenty of experience.
Would you rather have him or Tony Allen? Because Tony Allen's still inside.
I'd probably take Tony Allen just because I love Tony Allen. He's just full of grit and he's a
have him back in the Celtics.
And I've always loved him. I loved him when he was in Boston years ago. I'd pick Tony Allen, absolutely.
I mean, Wanamaker can play defense, kind of like Tony Allen did. I mean, nobody can. Kobe said he was the best person who ever defended him.
Yeah, but, we haven't really seen much from him yet. So I mean, like, we'll see. Time will tell. I mean, he'll probably get minutes like here and there, like if there's injuries or some guys get a night off or whatever, like he'll plug in those minutes. But I mean, we probably won't be seeing too much of him, but he's there. Like if we need him, he'll be there.
The second game of the night was the Warriors and Thunder. Russell Westbrook out with not knee injury, he just had like I don't even know how to say the word, like arthroscopic or something.
Yeah.
It's a small knee surgery.
It's one of those things where it's like I'm happy they sat him out because with any like it doesn't matter who you are, like what type of player you are, like you don't want to risk anything with the knee because obviously like especially for him, like being an explosive point guard and like going at 1,000,000 miles per hour, like you don't want to risk injuring that anymore, making it worse than it is.
I mean, they only lose by 8 without him. Obviously with him, you can't guarantee a win because other players just wouldn't get as many shots as they did. Like, I don't think Dennis Schroeder would score 21 with Westbrook on the court. Paul George played well. He was a -16 though, as he had 27 points. But like,
I mean, they were slow to start. It was kind of the Warriors were up by double digits in the second quarter in the first half, and then the third quarter, Paul George, I think he had 15 points in the third quarter.
You know, like 6 for 6 or something.
Yeah, that's when he started to get going there, and I think. When Russell Westbrook, obviously the offense is going to be much different than it was the first game. But I think them keeping it close at least until the end, only losing by 8, I think that should give Thunder fans a lot of hope. Like without Russell Westbrook, they were able to do this against the Warriors.
I don't really know if I like Schroeder, to be honest. Like ever since that series with the Celtics
Boston,
a while ago.
Him and Isaiah, he can be an asshole.
I mean, he played nice. He had 21, 8, and 6.
Yeah, I was mesmerized by his shot. He has such a high arcing shot. I don't know if you watched it. Like he was like a guy like right in his face, and he was just pulling it right over him. And I was like, damn, that's a weird shot to have. Like good shot, I guess. But I'm also not a fan of his hairstyle personally. That white or yellow streak in his hair.
Wait, is he sponsored by Puma?
I don't know.
Because I don't think he is, but like they reminded me of the Puma thing, and I didn't know if that was on purpose or not.
I don't know. I think he just did that to do it. I don't know if he's on Puma. I know DeMarcus Cousins just got his contract with Puma. Nike didn't match it, so he's officially Team Puma now.
I kind of like the shoes. Like if we're gonna talk about that, like I like how they only have one colorway, one shoe style so far to start. So it's like you see Terry Rozier, like I think I tweeted like he's wearing like flashlights because they're just so bright.
Yeah, no, those shoes like I think they're sick. Like they stand out, and obviously like it's Puma's first year really like doing. Yeah, I mean you just players like you'll get your signature shoes. Like they'll obviously make more and more as the years go on, but yeah, I mean, when Puma started like signing all these people, like everyone was kind of crapping on him, like, "Oh, Puma's not going to be that good. Like these shoes suck." And I was like, I don't know. I think that's a little too extreme.
I also like how they're just like one color, one type of shoe because it shows you like who the beginning group are. Like they're so bright shoes. Like
exactly.
You don't go with the Celtics uniforms at all, and you see Terry Rozier standing out. DeAndre Ayton had them. Marvin Bagley had them.
Shoes on, yeah. I mean, it stands out. It's cool. I mean, that's the kind of the point. Like everyone's talking.
Yeah. I like him, to be honest.
I like him too. I'm a big fan.
I want to see if they could do different colorways now. Like
I want to see Scary Terry's signature shoe.
Yeah. As soon as those come out, I don't care what they look like. I'll probably buy them. But
for sure.
So in terms of the Warriors, they just did their normal thing. Kevin Durant, 27 points. Draymond Green only got 2 points, but had 13 rebounds and 5 assists. So that's also like a Draymond night. Steph had 32 points, hitting 5 threes and getting 9 assists and 8 rebounds. And then Clay had 14 on 1 for 8 from 3. So
one guy I will say that stood out to me really on the Warriors was Damian Jones.
yeah, was he a rookie?
No, he was drafted a few 3
This
years
is his
ago.
second year in the league.
His second or third year, yeah. But he actually went to Vanderbilt with my cousin when he was there as well.
Oh,
so
really?
I've known about him for a little while, and I've always he's such an athletic guy, and he never really got a chance to play on the Warriors because they had everyone. But
I mean, once Boogie comes back, he's done. But
yeah, he'll probably go back to the bench. But I mean, with the Warriors, I mean, they can kind of plug in anyone really at center and make it work.
Yeah, I mean,
but,
they have him.
You
can even put Jordan
points.
Bell.
Yeah, that too. I thought when they started the game, I was actually surprised they didn't start Jordan Bell over
He only got
Jones.
7 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, but Damian Jones had 7 points, 3 blocks, 3 rebounds. I think I mean it's biased because I said he went to school with my cousin and stuff, but I'm a big fan of his, and hopefully things work out for him on that team.
That wraps up the opening night. As in terms of last night, a bunch of teams made their debut. I think there's only a handful that still have yet to play their first game. But we'll start with Milwaukee beating the Hornets 113-112. This game ended with Batum, I think, missing 2 clutch shots, which is one was a layup and one was, I think, a 3. I like Batum, but you gotta hit the shots.
Yeah, I know that's a tough game to lose like that, but that's just it's just a sign that the NBA's back, man. Stuff like that happens.
Do you like the court, the new Hornets court?
I like the throwback jerseys. I like the whole throwback idea. I don't know about the court.
I was watching the game. It was just watching Boise State home game or something with the blue field. It just looks so weird.
Exactly. It looked a little weird. But I love the jerseys. The old Hornets jerseys were sick.
Yeah, I mean, I like the key part, the honeycomb part, but the blue part, I just didn't like at all.
Yeah, a little too much.
Giannis finished the night with 25, 18, and 8, which definitely helps his MVP off the bat.
Putting up MVP numbers, I mean, that's just what we should be expecting from him. I mean, he's he's unreal. He really is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win, but he definitely should be.
He'll be up there. 100%.
Is the Bucks? I think I'm not even sure if Philly's top 3. I know it's one game and everything. Obviously, don't overreact, but I saw really nothing from Philly outside Embiid and Simmons. It's this is the second best team in the East.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like you said, it's only one game, but it's fair to question. I mean, Simmons and Embiid and JJ Redick had a lot of points off the bench, but you just have to wonder where the team's at, with the surrounding cast, if it's going to really work. I was watching First Take, and Stephen A. Smith was saying the same thing. It's a disappointment. That game was a complete disappointment, and it could be a sign of things to come. I mean, I think Markelle Fultz will find his role on the team. Wilson Chandler's he was hurt, so he wasn't even playing. He's a guy that can come off the bench and help them a little bit. So I mean, there's a few things that they can fix and that could help them. But I mean, yeah, I mean, if I was a Sixers fan, I'd be like, what the hell is going on with my team right now?
As in terms of the Hornets in that game, Kemba Walker finished at 41 points. It's a contract year for him, and every NBA player, they kind of up their game for a season as it's a contract year. So who knows? We'll probably see Kemba getting so many buckets this year. And then we got Malik Monk finally kind of, I guess, playing well. He didn't not play well last year. I was high on Monk the whole time. He just wouldn't see any minutes. I think they got a new coach too. I just forget his name.
Yeah, I forgot his name too, but they did get a new coach. You're right.
Dropped 18 last night. But yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, that Bucks Hornets.
Yeah, riveting.
And then the next game was the Brooklyn Nets versus the Pistons. It was a close game, but I think the Pistons came out on top, and obviously their front court of Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond were the biggest reasons why they won. Andre Drummond had 24 and 20. Blake Griffin had 26 points. I think he was close to a triple double, or he had I don't know if he had a lot of rebounds or something. I have to look at the stats, but they both did very well against the Nets.
Jared Allen is the defender that can only stop Blake Griffin. He blocked him at the rim 2 times in a week or something.
Yeah, Jared Allen is I like him too. He's one of those guys that really didn't get that much of an opportunity last year, but now like the Nets kind of like trying to take that next step forward. I think he's going to have a good year. I mean, he had 30 minutes.
Yeah, they've
played pretty well.
Random young guys like Dinwiddie. They got Allen.
For where they were a couple of years ago, like obviously they're in a much better place now. Like they're up in the right direction, but obviously, I mean, they're not really a contender. I don't even think they're a playoff contender. But
do you think Blake gets traded this year?
No, I think they'll give it a year to kind of. I think they'll give it a full year just to see how they both work well together. Like when we gave our predictions, I said the Pistons could be competing for one of those lower seeds in the Eastern Conference, and I think with both of them, I think they can give that team the chance to do that. Reggie Jackson, 19 too. I mean, he has to stay healthy for that to happen. But I think, I mean, if these guys stick together, I mean, I think it could work. We'll see, though.
Yeah, for sure. Next game was the Grizzlies versus Pacers. Pacers kind of killed them, 111-83. There's nothing. Yeah,
we got the Grizzlies pick this year, so I mean, like, we kind of want. We kind of want them to be bad, but we also don't want them to be too bad.
Wait, don't we have the Clippers pick too?
We have the Kings. So the Clippers pick is like, I think that's top 14 protected. So basically, the Clippers don't make the playoffs. We don't get it. The Grizzlies is top 8 protected, so we don't want them to be
too bad.
Yeah, we don't want them to be like one of the worst teams. And then the Kings obviously is top 1 protected. That's the team that we want to be really bad, but not the worst, if that makes sense. But yeah, no, I mean the Celtics have all these picks, but yeah, Grizzlies, Pacers. I mean,
I don't know where the
Grizzlies are kind of a boring team.
Yeah, I think I said that a couple weeks ago, but I was like, I don't know one Grizzlies fan.
Yeah, I mean, Jaren Jackson's like, I said, like he's their hope for the future. I mean, but they're just a boring team.
The Pacers only had 24 combined from Miles Turner and Victor Oladipo too.
Yeah, they didn't really have that much of a game either. But the bench, they had Tyreek off the bench. I mean, Tyreek had. Look at it. Tyreek had plus 23. Corey Joseph plus 28, Doug McDermott plus 20, Sabonis plus 26. So their bench obviously was a huge reason why they won. When they were on the court, they were doing pretty damn well.
Yeah, not much other from that game. So we got Orlando beating the Magic 104-101. Obama debut. Aaron Gordon finished the night with 26 and 16. I kind of like I said, I like the Magic, but I don't think they're going to be a playoff team. They're going to have a lot of highlights, but they're just not going to be a winning team, obviously.
Yeah, you see, it kind of reminded me of last year. They started off really hot, and a lot of people were saying, oh, maybe this is the turning point. They're going to be good now. And then they just went back to being one of the worst teams in the league like they've been for the past couple of years. I mean, they have a lot of promising players like Gordon, Isaac, Vukovic, even Fournier is a good shooter. Mo Bamba, Jonathan Simmons, they got names on there. It's not like they have nobodies on their team. They got some well-known players and stuff. It's just they've never been able to really make it work.
Ever since the Shaq and Penny, not even then. The Dwight Howard.
Once Dwight left, the franchise kind of really just didn't know, just stopped doing its thing. I guess
they're kind of just drafting Dwight Howards now. They got
they got Mo Bamba and Vukovic. I really wish
13-7 with 2 blocks.
I really hope they start him, or at least give him. I think he had 20.
Wait, did Bamba not start?
No, he came off the bench for Vukovic.
That's what I thought.
But he only played 3 minutes less than Vukovic. So I mean, I think Orlando obviously is a fan of his. So I think moving forward he should get plenty of playing time because I think he's going to be great in this league, and we can both agree on that.
As for the Magic, the Heat, Gordon Dragic, 26 points. Hassan Whiteside,
12 and 18.
Yeah, so look at that, 12 and 18. And I think Josh Richardson had 21.
Yep. Dwayne Wade off the bench. He had 11 rebounds. Dwayne Wade
almost a double, 9 and 11.
9 and 11. The Heat. I mean, Pat Riley said today to their team that they're not trading anyone, that they're keeping the roster the way it is. So I think when we get to Timberwolves, when we talk more about Jimmy Butler, I think that kind of takes the heat out of the Jimmy Butler raffle, if the sweepstakes, if that even is a thing anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I really just don't know, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Atlanta Hawks versus New York Knicks. The Knicks win by 20. Trae Young's debut. 14, 6, and 5 with 4 turnovers. I mean, it's not a terrible debut, but
no, I mean, he shot 5 for 14, 1 for 5 from 3, but like we said, I mean, only Torian Prince had more shots than him. I mean, Trae Young is just going to be shooting like all year. He's just going to be shooting. It was his first game, NBA debut, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Really isn't anything to be ashamed of as your first stat line. And it's the Hawks, so I mean, you can't really expect much from them this year because they're arguably the worst team in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. And then in terms of the Knicks, Tim Hardaway gets 31 and 5 and 6. Cantor 16 and 11. Trey Burke 15 points off the bench. They got Hizonia 15 points. Vonleh 12. Kevin Knox 10.
Didn't really have a great shooting game, but I still see promise in him. And then Alonzo Trier. This guy, not a lot of people, he went undrafted. Not a lot of people know about him. This dude can ball. Okay, he can
play more than Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, he can fly. He can. Oh, he's so athletic, and I think he's a sleeper for that team. He's going to help them a whole lot. I'm a huge fan of his, and not a lot of people know about him too. So, and I think that'll be changing over the next couple weeks.
Next game, we got Raptors over Cleveland. 116-104. Kawhi made his debut. Colin Sexton made his NBA debut. It was kind of a close game. What is that? 12 points? 12 points or something?
Yeah, 12 points.
Then, I don't know. It's just Toronto plays well at home, so you kind of expect them to.
I mean,
I'm not sure if this is more Toronto playing bad or Cleveland overplaying or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto, is expected to be a top 3 seed in the East. So, I mean, with their roster, Leonard, Valanciunas, Lowry had a good game. He had 27 points. Yeah. And then Ibaka came off the bench even. They don't even start Ibaka. They got Fred VanVleet. Like, they got one of the deepest benches in the NBA. Like, they're expected to play this well. And with Kawhi being there, like we talked about,
Kawhi, 24,
forget about how good he is. Like, he had 24 and 12. Like, he's going to be putting up MVP numbers with the Raptors finishing as one of the best teams. Like, people are going to start to remember just how good he is, and I'm happy that's going to happen because when he was healthy, he was a top 3 player in the league, and I don't even think that was even arguable that he wasn't.
I mean, everyone was talking about it was always 2-3 years ago. We go LeBron, KD, Kawhi.
And then Kawhi, yeah. And I think a lot of people would argue too that Kawhi was number 2 over Kevin Durant for a little bit.
Yeah.
And he got hurt, and that's what happens in the NBA or in general. Like, Gordon Hayward got hurt, and people forgot he was an all-star the year before he came to Boston. Like, it's just that's what happens when you get hurt. People forget about you, and now they come back. And people start to remember, oh, wait, Kawhi Leonard actually is that good because he really is he's a top 5 player, without a doubt, in my mind at least.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Cavs, I mean, they're just going to be no consistent score outside Kevin Love, I think.
Yeah, he shot 5 for 18. He didn't really have a great shooting night. Yeah. I'm surprised Sexton, he only had 18 minutes last night. He had 4 fouls, but
9 points, 4 turnovers. Yeah. I mean, Toronto's a tough place to play him because Kawhi, Danny Green on defense, even Kyle Lowry's all right. Van Fleet on defense, and it's the whole we the North atmosphere whenever you're in Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, last year what was their they had an insane home record last year. The Toronto Toronto's a tough place to play for any team. So I mean, and with the Cavaliers, obviously there's no more LeBron, so the team's they have a lot of returning guys, but it's kind of a new team, the way they're running, how they're going to play and stuff. So they're going to have to figure that out. And I think, did you say? I don't know if you said that they might make the playoffs this year. They were in your predictions.
Yeah, but, I think 8 seed.
I mean they'll definitely compete in that area, but they have to figure a few things out. Kevin Love can't be shooting 5 for 18 every game.
Yeah, I mean he'll find his way eventually. Yeah. Probably. Perhaps my favorite game of the night because I just hate the Rockets is Pelicans killed the Rockets, 131, 112.
That was a great game to watch, and I still don't think the Pelicans will make the playoffs just because of how stacked the West is. But I think their offseason moves of getting Mirotic and Randall were huge. I mean, 25-8 from Randall, 30-10 from Mirotic. Mirotic shot 6 for 8 from 3, and then obviously Anthony Davis just being an absolute man. Like, he's just there's a reason why the Pelicans won't trade him. It's because there's literally there's just no fair trade offer. Like, I don't know if they'd get anything back that would just be of equal value, like in now or in the long term, because he's just Anthony Davis could go down as one of the best power forwards to ever play in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, he's a top 100 player now.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just insane just how talented he is and how much he can do, and he's just so important to that franchise. I think the only way that he he's not on that team is if he leaves in free agency, because I don't see anyone trading that. Like, if the Celtics, first say like the Celtics or the Lakers, if they wanted to try to make a trade for him, they literally have to
get the house for him.
The whole team. Like, I'm talking like Jason Tatum they'd ask for, Jaylen Brown, like they'd ask for everyone, because that's how good Davis is. And
it's kind of like when we got KG, we traded that's 6
true.
Players, 2 picks.
Yeah,
KG.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think it happened. Like, obviously things could change and stuff, but I mean, he looks like he's comfortable in New Orleans right now. So
Alfred Payton, I think he's a New Orleans native, but he got a triple-double, 10, 10, and 10.
First triple-double of the year.
Yeah. But
weird guy to get it, but I guess, I mean, he kind of is a good all-around player.
Yeah, especially when you're in – like, he's going to get 10 assists tonight, I think. Is he the starting point guard or is Drew Holiday?
He is. I think Drew Holiday is playing shooting guard for them.
Yeah, so if you're starting, you got – Drew Holiday, who's a spot-up guy. You got Mirotic, who's a spot-up and a low guy. You got Anthony Davis, who can do literally everything. Mm-hmm. Even Julius Randle, who's playing so nice. I don't know. I think the Pelicans are, sneaky one to be even slide the 4 seed.
They could be sneaky. No, I will give them that. They have they got a couple really good guys, but Mirotic, he's not going to put up 30 every game. He's a streaky shooter. Anthony Davis, you can expect him to probably put up those numbers most of the time. No, they got a solid team. I'm not taking anything away from them.
I mean, it's also game 1. So
exactly. Yeah, it's like
what's one of those things in 2 weeks and be
it's game 1. It's like when your team does really well, it's like, oh, they're gonna be so good, but then your team does really bad. It's like, oh, it's just the first game.
yeah. I mean, we could look back in this in a month and be like, oh, the Pelicans are.
It's like, oh, they beat the Rockets by 20, and then next thing you know, they lose
rubbed by the Haws.
Yeah, exactly. It's the NBA, man. Anything could happen.
We got Minnesota versus San Antonio. This one's confusing in the sense that I don't know why Jimmy Butler's playing. He's obviously doesn't want to help the team. He kind of out there for himself. I watched part of that game. He was passing and stuff. He was obviously playing basketball. But if he's gonna want to do his own thing, he's gonna do his own thing with no repercussions because he's almost gonna be out of there. We're all still assuming. But even then, the risk for injury, say he tears an ACL just by some freak accident, nobody's going to trade for him then, and he's going to walk next year when his contract expires. So I don't know why Minnesota hasn't traded him now, tried to actually get him out the door instead of just being in talks or whatever. And then I don't know. I think it just makes no sense why Jimmy Butler's playing. Granted, he was on limited minutes, but still.
Yeah, exactly. I think we tweeted out from the Benchwarmers account yesterday, with the injury, that's the biggest thing too that caught my mind. It's you're not getting traded. If you sit out, it's not really a great look. And he wants, he's a basketball player. He wants to go out there and he wants to compete. But again, you risk that chance of getting an injury. And he's on his contract year. God forbid something happened. And look what happened to Marcus Cousins. He went from a guy that could get a max contract to, he's on the Warriors, but he's only making $5 million. It's stuff like that happens, unfortunately, but that's just sometimes life is like that. And Jimmy Butler, he's kind of just playing. I wouldn't say he's playing for himself per se, but he really is just focusing on himself and trying to help the team win. But I really don't know. I think it's just mostly Thibodeau. Really just doesn't want to let him go.
He's got to get out of there,
yeah. I don't I love Thibodeau. He was the assistant coach in Boston. I understand where he's coming from. But I don't know. I don't really agree with a lot of his coaching decisions and stuff like that. Like he plays his players so many minutes, like runs them to the ground. Like that's what he's known for. And I don't know. It's still a weird situation. Like from what it has to be close to a month, if not over a month now. Like this has been a story. And it's like nothing's happened. Like we've been waiting on the edge of our seats to see where he got traded. Like that list came out of where he wanted to go, and just nothing's come from it. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I just don't know, because like his offense should be built around Karl-Anthony Towns, and when Karl-Anthony Towns only gets 6 shot attempts,
that was also a big question mark to me. Like arguably, Karl-Anthony Towns is the best player on that team talent wise. Like he's just one of the best centers in the NBA, and only 6 shot attempts. He fouled out, but I think a couple of those fouls came towards the end of the game. I think he had 2 offensive fouls that sent him out of the game. But yeah, I don't know. It was a weird game. And then it was DeMar DeRozan's debut. He had 28 points in San Antonio. I said that they could sneak in to the playoffs as one of those lower seeds, like 7 or 8.
Yeah, I mean, DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge did play very well.
Yeah, I mean, that's their duo. And Rudy Gay, he had a good night too. I forgot about him, actually. I think now that he gets a little more playing time. I mean, Rudy Gay is a good player still. It's not like he's washed or anything.
He can just score no matter what.
He just really hasn't. Like, I think he came off the bench for them last year or something like that. So now he's get more time and stuff. But Marco Bellinelli, too, off the bench, that's kind of underrated too, because great shooter. And no, I think that team's – the only issue with them right now is they literally have like Patty Mills is their only legit point guard right now that's healthy. Like they lost DeJounte Murray, Tony Parker, obviously in Charlotte. And I think someone else got hurt, I believe. I can't think of it.
I mean, you could also just give it to DeRozan, just bring the ball up.
Yeah, exactly. They'll work it out. But, I mean, that's really their only weakness right now, I think. I think that team, I mean, under Greg Popovich, one of the best coaches of all time, if not the best coach of all time, honestly. I think they'll make it work.
And then last 3 games, we got – where did they go? Jazz versus Kings. Jazz won 123-117.
Kings pick.
Yeah, we want them to do better.
This is what we like to see.
Marvin Bagley's debut. De'Aaron Fox had 21 in his debut. Well, not debut, like his sophomore debut, I guess.
Yeah, Marvin Bagley only played 12 minutes.
The Kings have so many players. That's why it's like there's no time for all of them to play. It's infuriating to watch.
They have a lot of like really well-known players, but they're all so young. It's like you have to spread those minutes somehow.
You can't grow anyone when you have everybody fighting for time and anything. It's so. I hate watching them because like I love a bunch of players in that team. It's just they can't all be on the same team.
And Yogi Ferrell too. I think
didn't Harry Giles make his debut because he was hurt last year?
Yeah, Harry Giles didn't play at all last year. He had 2 points. He had a minus 23.
There we go.
A minus 23 plus minus. So I don't know. I don't know. The biggest thing for me is Marvin Bagley. He only had played 12 minutes. If you're the second overall pick, I mean, I think you should be playing more than 12 minutes a game.
Yeah. Ingles and Mitchell for the Jazz combined for 46. Even then, just like I don't know.
The Jazz are a good team. Mitchell started off the game slow. He finished with 24. But I mean, a lot of people are considering them being like a top 3 seed in the West, like a 3-4 seed. And I don't know, if they'll be that good. Like they're pretty well rounded. Like they got Rudy Gobert is a defensive monster. Joe Ingles can shoot really well. Derek Favors in the post, and Mitchell obviously. Like they got a pretty well-rounded team. And they beat the Kings, who are one of the worst teams in the league. Yeah. So we'll see how they go throughout the year. But I mean, good first game for them, I guess.
The Suns killed the Mavericks, 121 to 100.
Devin Booker is a bad man.
Devin Booker started out game kind of slow. I was like, just following along.
He picked it up in the fourth, but
and with 35 points,
he's like, as far as scoring goes, like he could be like the next Kobe Bryant. Yeah. Like he's just so talented, and he can just he's obviously their number one guy. And his hand, like he's still healing his hand injury. And he had 35 points, though, 6 for 10 from 3. Like some of the shots he was hitting were ridiculous. Like he has so much talent, dude, and he's so young still too. That's the insane thing. He's just the sky's the limit for him. I can't speak more highly of him.
Ariza finished with 21, 8, and 7. Josh Jackson had 18 off the bench. TJ Warren had 17 off the bench. Like every single year, I'm gonna fall into this stupid trap again. But like I keep saying the Suns are gonna be decent, and then they always end up being the worst team. Like
yeah, it's weird.
So bad. I mean, Ayton had a debut. His debut was, I think it was like 20.
He had 18,
10, 10 and 6. Yeah.
So I mean, they have
like, a lot of scores, but
they have the pieces they need to make that next step eventually. They're just like Josh Jackson's young, obviously. Devin Booker is super young. Ayton's a rookie. Like they just gotta. I mean, I think they need to get it going for at least when Devin Booker starts to hit his prime and stuff, because like Devin Booker's a monster, but like
he sent him a 5-year extension too. So.
Yeah, like it's not going to mean anything if you're not winning games. So they got to start like picking it up, and like you said, like you think like they'll be good and stuff, but we'll have to see. I mean, they got
the well-constructed Kings. Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean they got the pieces. Like they got great players. They just need to make. Trevor Ariza was a very underrated signing. Because he's a great defender. He can shoot.
They're still going after Patrick Beverley too. So like,
yeah, I mean they do need another point guard. Like they had Isaiah Cannon start at point guard. I remember they were trying to get Terry Rozier before. Oh, Jamal Crawford. He didn't play because they just signed him.
Yeah, he just signed.
So they still have him too. But yeah, I think their weakest point is their point guard. But Devin Booker, he can just do that for them. Honestly, for the time being.
Doncic also made his debut that game. Just like I didn't really watch this game. I just kind of was like following all the highlights on Twitter and stuff. But he makes basketball just look insanely easy, and he's 19 years old. Like,
yeah, dude, it's like I said, like I think he's gonna win Rookie of the Year. I think he's gonna be a superstar. Like he only had 10 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists last night. But just like the way he plays, like the speed he goes, like he watches the court, he knows what's going on. Like he picks apart like the passes he was making, like. He knows what he's doing on the court, and
I don't really know who I can compare him to. I was trying to figure that out.
I don't know
what his floor is, and
it's weird because he's not like an explosive player. Like he's not like super quick. Like he
just moves in slow motion, just has everything technically.
Yeah,
right.
like that's the thing. Like he's just smart with what he does. He thinks about what he's doing, and he's just a really smart basketball player. I don't know who I compare him to either, honestly.
Like a point guard Tim Duncan in a way, just his play style. Like
yeah, I guess.
He's so textbook, and like I don't know,
but I think he's gonna be great. Him and Dennis Smith are gonna be just a phenomenal back.
How did he do?
He had 13 and 5. He shot 6 for 19, so he didn't really have a great shot.
Yeah, I mean he's about 19 shots. But
yeah, Doncic shot 5 for 16, so I mean he didn't really have a great shooting night either. But
I don't think any of the starters had over 15.
The only guy that had 15 was Wesley Matthews had 15, but he shot 5.
Wait, DeAndre Jordan's on that team too, right?
Yeah, he had 11 and 12.
Not bad. I mean, not worth the money. Like game one.
Yeah, I mean he is making a lot of money, but I think right now like. Doncic and Dennis Smith, like in the long run, like that's going to be great. It's a great future to look forward to if you're a Mavs. Some people, I think, NBA on TNT. Some people are saying watch out for the Mavs, like they might make a run for the playoffs.
Yeah, I saw something like that.
But like they're going to be good one day, but I don't know.
Not this year.
Not this year. No, not yet. Not yet.
And then the final game of the night, you got Nuggets over Clippers, 107-98.
Boban. I think one of the biggest things I want to talk about is like this dude doesn't even have to jump. Like he posted 2 guys and he didn't even leave.
He broke the rim. He had to fix the rim.
No, they had to fix the rim. Like this dude, like I remember when he was in Detroit and they were trying to move him, I was like Danny Ainge, get this guy. Like even if you don't play him, like look how tall he is. Like you can use that. Like even if he's not that skilled, like look what he did. Like you know what I mean? Like when you have that high, he shot 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Like he can do some stuff. I mean, he
worked with what's that guy's name? Brickley or Chris Johnson? Chris Brickley. I don't know. Those 2 New York trainers that like you see all those videos come out of. I know I like those over the summer a lot.
But yeah, I mean, the Clippers. I mean, they have scores like Gallinari 16, Tobias 19. No one else on their starting lineup really didn't do anything.
Shea
And
made
then
his debut.
Gilgeous Alexander, I believe his name is. He had 11 off the bench. Lou Williams 14. I mean, the Clippers are one of those teams that they're just gonna miss the playoffs. Like the West is just too talented. There's just so many good teams, and unfortunately, Clippers are gonna be one of the odd teams out. And the Nuggets, on the other hand, I said that they're one of my sleeper teams. Honestly, I think they're my second favorite team in the NBA behind the Celtics. Obviously, like Paul Millsap, Jokic, Murray, Barton, Harris, Lyles, Malik Beasley, even and Isaiah Thomas didn't play, but like that team is just so talented, and I think they're going to be so good this year.
Healthy?
I think he's still rehabbing right now. Okay. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. I don't think he's not going to be out for a long time. Like he's not going to be missing like a chunk of the year. And then Michael Porter too. Like whenever he,
I think he is out for you.
Michael Porter,
he's out indefinitely, but
yeah, for now. I mean,
just shut him down.
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I mean, if it's like with a back injury too, like if that can affect you long term, like, and the Nuggets are well enough equipped where they don't like need to bring him like, oh, we need him to compete. Like that's just not the case.
Yeah.
So they'll probably take their time with him, but I love the Nuggets and I love them.
Yeah. So I think the only 4 teams that didn't make their debut and they're playing tonight is Chicago, Washington, Portland, and the Lakers. So you can see LeBron make his debut.
Who are the Lakers playing tonight? The Lakers are playing the Blazers.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are going to be watching the Lakers this year. A lot of eyes going to be on the Lakers this year. We'll see how they do. We'll see if they reach up those expectations.
I want to check the over-under real quick for the Lakers wins. I think it was like 50.
The over-under, it says the over-under I'm looking at right now, it's for points, it's 222, and Portland has the -3 line.
Oh, I meant for Lakers wins.
Oh. Lakers wins. I don't know.
48.5.
I mean, it's fair because, like, I mean, to say that the Lakers would be a 50-win team, like, with their squad, like, coming from where they are, like, yeah they add LeBron, but, like, you can't just say, like, you can't just say, like, oh, yeah, like, we kept the same team, we add LeBron, we're going to go right to 50 wins. Like, it's like they're going to have their slumps. They're going to have their times where they're not going to look like a good basketball team whatsoever. Like, they're going to have a lot of growing pains. But I think, I mean, I said they'd be the 6th seed. I think
right I don't know if under 48 wins get you the 6th. Though.
Yeah, like, I mean, this is more of an experimental year than anything. Like, it's just to kind of see how LeBron does in LA, like, get all the young guys developed under LeBron's wing and, like, and then next year try to get another superstar, and that's when you really like make the run for a title.
He made the playoffs every single year, right?
LeBron, I think the only times he hasn't made the playoffs were his first and second year in the NBA.
Okay, so not bad.
No, not bad at all. No. So I don't know. I don't think they won't miss the playoffs. I think
I forget where
there, but I don't think they'll make much noise in the playoffs once they get there.
I forget where I heard this, but it was like this is gonna be the first year that like LeBron has fun playing basketball. Like I'm like, you're not wrong because every single year he was supposed to be like the hometown dude in Cleveland that'll bring him back to win. And then when he got to Miami, he's like guaranteed all these rings. And
I mean, there's no.
It's like
there are expectations for the team. Obviously, like I think the biggest expectation is making it back to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's it. I don't think expect anything else from him.
Like in the long run. Yeah, the expectation is to bring a title to LA. But for this year, like LeBron should have fun. Like that's why I picked him to win MVP. Like he should just worry about himself, like have fun, like put up crazy ass numbers and develop the young guys, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma. Like in the long run, that team's gonna be very good. I think this year it's gonna be an experimental year. Just see how everything works and develop guys and that's really it.
All right. Anything else you want to touch on? I can't think of anything.
I mean, Bulls Sixers tonight. I mean, the Bulls. I think that not a sleeper team, but I mean it's a team that they're very young, very talented. If they stay healthy, they can make some noise in the NBA. That's just me personally. Like with Chris Dunn, Levine, Parker, Lauri Markkanen's out, I believe, for a little while.
Yeah, I think he's out for a bit.
Yeah, Wendell Carter. They got some really good young pieces to work around. Yeah, I mean Jabari Parker is a 20-10 guy when he's healthy. I mean he did that when he's in Milwaukee, but unfortunately has had 2 ACL injuries, which is just awful. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. But I think another thing to look out for is how the Sixers respond to how they played in Boston and how they bounce back against Chicago. I mean, they're playing Chicago, which obviously isn't as good of a team as Boston, but it'll be interesting to see, how they respond, how they keep their composure. See, hopefully, I mean, if they lose against the Bulls, I think that's when people are really going to start freaking out about the Sixers.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
not freak out, but
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm not going against that. It's just like I just can't see like Philly finishing top 3. Like I think the Bucks are just gonna be so much better than Philly, but obviously night 1. So
yeah, like I said, like
my face,
like I said earlier, like when your team does well, like they're gonna be good, like they're looking forward to this, and then your team does bad, it's like it's just the first game, like so it's the first night. That's the NBA. Anything could happen in the NBA. Like it could change in the blink of an eye, snap of a finger. So I mean, but it'll be a fun season to watch. And opening night, last night with all those games on, like for us, like we mentioned earlier, like we're huge basketball guys. Like we're just so happy that basketball's back and just something to talk about and something to enjoy watching. It's
like I can go to bed watching something.
Yeah, exactly. Like I watched the Mavs and Suns last night. Like I don't know many people that would say that they're not from Phoenix or Dallas watching that game. Like that's. Like you think about it, like that's a boring game, but like I'm an NBA fan.
No, it's
that's
like,
what
it's definitely a boring game, but like there's so much I look forward to in that game too. Like when someone, I forget who said it, but if someone in like the WTV chat was like, "Oh, you'd watch Nets and Jazz," I'm like, "Yeah, I'd watch Donovan Mitchell and like Spencer Dinwiddie." I'm like, "Yeah, you're not wrong."
Like when you think of like for those guys, like they know like the top guys, but like me, guys like me and you, like we know like players on each team, like who to watch out for and like who guys I like with the Mavs, like I'll watch them because of Luka Doncic.
Yeah, like I've played basketball like my entire life since I was like 5 or something like that. So like I just know so much just about it. Just like I'm just so like interested in it. So obviously I'm gonna like watch it.
And that's why everyone should keep tuning in every week and listening. Because I mean that's what we base our lives around. Really, like this is what we love. We love talking about it, and we hope to bring the best stuff to you guys.
Yeah, for sure. So you guys can definitely check us out on Twitter at Benchwarmer Radio. We're posting content daily, especially more towards like nighttime, obviously, because games are playing. You can follow our Instagram at Benchwarmer Radio. I don't think that's very followed right now because I just haven't been promoting it. But
yeah, we're gonna work on our social medias and building those up.
Follow our personals at Ty_Miller35 and at Dante on Deck. Follow our platform at WTB Sports, and I think that's all the homework you guys have. But other than that, we'll see you guys next week, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.